Da, da, theme song, theme song. Da, da, da.
Hello again. We are A Thousand Eyes in One. I'm Tanya.
And I'm Nikki. Welcome back.
Tonight, again, we are talking about The Wheel of Time. Tonight is season 1, episode 7, The Dark Along the Ways.
We're almost at the end.
Almost one more week. Next week, I think we're going to do an actual video. So that should be cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to
also
see
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
If you want to go check out our previous episodes, it's thousandeyespodcast.com. You'll find all the links there for wherever you listen to podcasts. And you can also just search A Thousand Eyes in One on your favorite podcast app. You can find us on Twitter, Thousand Eyes One, Facebook and Instagram, A Thousand Eyes in One. And if you're interested in our speculative fiction book club, it's called Wine on an Empty Stomach.
Oh, it's so exciting. We have such a great book coming up. I cannot wait to talk about it.
We're A Thousand Eyes in One podcast on YouTube, so you can find the previous videos where we talk about the books we love. Our next one is January 16th, and the book is one of both of our all-time favorites, the 5th season.
N.K. Jemisin.
Yes, a master. But tonight, The Wheel of Time. The opening of this episode, I had to stop I had to stop because my toddler was acting crazy. But in that time that I had stopped, I had to text Nikki like, holy shit.
And she said, Holee as a separate word, and then shit. And it was like, I was still in a meeting and I had to like read it to someone and be like, oh, this is going to be good.
It was so good. We open with an Isle woman. I don't know if they're all called Islemen, but a pregnant Isle woman fighting for her life, kicking ass in
the midst of labor pains.
And like,
and I had to think of Tanya. I was like, so would you have been able to do that while you were in labor?
I was just about to say, having been recently pregnant, first of all, I could barely walk from my bedroom to the living room at the end of my pregnancy because my belly was so heavy. My pelvis
did make a ginormous child.
It was a huge baby. My pelvis got tilted, so I was wobbly and I couldn't walk. I couldn't even walk a block without having to stop. I couldn't do anything without having somewhere to sit. And then labor pains are a bitch. So the idea of fighting multiple assailants and kicking their asses.
Yeah. Like kill shot. Oh my God. That was so badass. I was confused for a second, I will say. When it opened up, I was like, what the fuck? Did I accidentally put on Hard Home? What am I watching?
Oh, because all the snow.
All the snow in the mountains. And I was like, is this what? And then I realized where I was. Oh, so good. Oh, I just didn't expect it to be so. I didn't expect it to like. Was now expecting like intensity from the jump, but I wasn't expecting a pregnant woman to be fucking fighting her ass off and just like constantly, like every time you thought that somebody may have had her, she just like flipped it on them. Oh, it was so great. Like the thing when she grabbed the dude by the cloak.
Well, yeah,
and was like, nope.
That made me think of The Incredibles, the first one. No capes.
No capes. Yeah, classic.
So that was a great, really great opening. Seeing her get stabbed in the side, I was like, no.
Oh, I felt that.
It's like, was the baby okay? So yeah, so that was the opening. And of course, we follow up later, find out what that was all about. But
yeah,
in the moment, I was like, holy shit. It was cool also to finally see, we heard about Islemen and their terrifying fighting.
Yep, the ferocity.
And to see if this is what a pregnant woman in labor fights like.
Yes. Yo, I can't even imagine.
I do not want to be on the opposite side of Isleman if that's the case. I also wonder what army they were fighting. Who were these soldiers?
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I don't remember any of that. So I also thought we were going to see more of the ways. We were in and out
I
quicker than I
did too.
anticipated.
I did too. I didn't realize it was gonna be. I mean, I don't know. I guess like maybe we hyped it up more than they actually did.
Yeah.
um, but for what it was scary. It was, it was dark and scary, and like knowing that there's this narrow path that they're navigating, and on either side is just endless plummeting. Um, that was a little bit nerve wracking. I don't know if you've ever driven up the side of a mountain at night, where you're just like, oh God. Uh, yeah,
I've
yeah,
driven up the side of a terrifying mountain in the daytime, and the whole time I kept thinking like, this is it. This is how I die. Because
yeah.
it was just like cliff, and so I can't even imagine doing it in pitch dark with something possibly chasing you.
Mhm. Oh no. Oh no. I mean,
Uh,
let's talk a little bit about the argument in the beginning of it though. They're like, wait a second, Matt, as if
I
he
was just
didn't
gonna
make the
say,
decision to like stay behind on his own and make eye contact with them, or like, be like, how about no?
yeah, Matt, he chose for himself. He
Yeah.
made the decision for himself. As much as Nynaeve argues um about Moiraine and everything, like she was still following along, and Matt made the decision not to go.
Exactly. I listened to so much early 90s music this weekend that in my head, as we were talking about that, I heard Bobby Brown's voice say, it's my prerogative. Yeah, he made his choice. And that's okay. And it's okay. You choose for yourself. And then listening to Moraine and Lan talk about it, and I was like, well, what if he's a dragon? She's like, that motherfucker was dark. We know
Yeah.
which way he's gonna choose.
And I
Um,
also wondered, because later on someone says it, I wondered, is he going back for his sisters or is he going back for the dagger?
yeah, that's what I wondered last week.
Because what we
Like,
don't know
is
what they
the
did with it.
attachment so strong? We don't, no idea. We just know that they took it away from him, but they didn't say what they did with it, whether they put it in like some, I don't know, Asgardian prison equivalent.
Right. We have no
Um,
idea.
yeah. So is he gonna go seek it out? Mm.
When Loyal was talking about Machin Shen, I
Mhm.
was like, that's the type of thing you need to explain in detail. You can't just drop that and then move
I
on.
know. Like, tell
Like,
us what you're talking about. We're already here, bro.
and like I don't need the we don't need the backstory. I just need you to tell me, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much danger am I in right now? He's just
For
like, oh,
real.
Machin Shin will come and eat your soul.
Like,
Oh,
excuse me?
man. And
As if like it's like, okay, well, you take the exit just like Matt. If you had told me that before we entered the ways.
right. Nobody
Or just like
mentioned
even
that.
give them the option to like prepare themselves for it before going in. But I guess it's a little bit more dramatic if they just have to, they just drop a little hint and then it's
Of
upon them.
of course, of course. It would be boring if she just gave them a speech beforehand and then
Listen, guys, the voice that's in your head is just lying to you.
I also I wonder, because he said that in the ways there used to be fruit trees and grass and everything. And so I wondered if the ways are one of the things that got destroyed in the breaking of the
Mhm.
world.
Yeah,
It wasn't
that
totally clear to me if that was it.
yeah, I wasn't I caught that it was like a very verdant place before, but um yeah, I was wondering if it was a place that was corrupted by the darkness.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's from what I understand, like what's it called again? The Machinchin? Machin?
Machin Shen.
Machinchin. Um, was that something that was always a part of the ways?
I
Or
don't
did it
know.
come, I'm wondering, like, was it something was that always a danger, even though it was very pretty? And so you couldn't channel, and you're just like, why would you need to channel if you had everything you need and it was a beautiful place to be, right? This like lovely little magical passageway between places. Um, but was it corrupted because of, did the darkness fall upon it because of the breaking of the world?
That's what I'm leaning towards, is that whatever happened with the breaking of the world corrupted the ways as well.
Mhm.
And that's what brought Machin Shin. That's my
That makes
guess.
sense.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that theory.
And I'm realizing now it's going to be really hard to not just sit and read this whole series, because I want to so much more now than I
Yeah.
did before.
I think I'm just gonna listen to it and make the exception just because there's so many. You just listen.
Yeah. Another thing that happened in the ways, Corinne seeing the, what was it called? The way, what was that sign
Oh,
called?
the guiding stone
The
of
guiding
something.
stone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's
In
like,
the
how did
dark
you
with his wolf eyes.
from far? Right. And I thought to, he said, Matt Rand's like, how did you see that? And he's like, I don't know. And I thought to myself, holy shit, him and Egwene haven't told them about the weird eye thing. I
Mm-mm.
mean, Moraine told them not to.
Yeah, she said keep it to themselves. Reminds me of Decca and her ability to see in the dark in Gilded One.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So cool. Yeah, he's got that wolf vision.
But I just thought to
And
myself,
I was like,
like,
why wasn't he in the front then?
oh,
Why is
he
he
can't
not
tell
scouting?
them.
Maybe he didn't realize that. I mean, at which point does he realize that he can see that far ahead? But he never did answer the question. And I think that with him not answering that question and the things that come a little bit later, I think that also adds to Rand's subsequent outburst.
Yeah, it seems like Rand feels like they're keeping a secret from him.
Mhm.
He's just wrong about what the secret is.
Yep.
And even though Moraine told them not to say anything about Perrin's new powers, I was surprised they really didn't say anything because I felt like they wouldn't listen to her.
Yeah, like no, well, now's the moment. They're talking about all the other things. We'll get to that.
Well, yeah, so
Yeah.
the voice was telling them all, bringing up everyone's insecurities.
Yes.
And, oh boy,
Oh boy.
Moiraine is afraid that she's completely wrong and is just going to kill some innocent kids.
Mm-hmm.
Nynaeve is afraid that she can't protect them.
Paladin.
It was interesting, Perrin's thing being that he killed his wife because he loved another woman.
That was made me. I had to go back the little 15 seconds. I was like, excuse me, what? And I was like, oh shit. That was my exact reaction to it. And I was like, oh.
And
You love
even though he's
Egwene?
been really kind to Egwene and everything, I never really got the vibe that he was in love with her. Did you?
Neither. No, I didn't. Not
Mm.
not even a little bit.
They
Not even
felt
a
very
little bit.
like brother sisterly to me.
Yeah, super platonic. Like this is family love. I feel like, it's assuming that it's her is forcing it a little bit. Maybe there was somebody else.
Maybe.
Because I was like, oh, maybe it's Nynaeve. I think that was my first thought. It wasn't Egwene, that it was Nynaeve. But she's a wisdom, and wisdom's never won.
Yeah, it just caught me. It caught me by surprise, thinking that Perrin was in love with Egwene. I really didn't see that at all. And then we have Rand's insecurity that Egwene doesn't love him, or doesn't love him as much as he loves her.
Or yeah, and will continue to leave him, abandon him.
What was Egwene's voice telling her?
I can't remember when I heard it go. But I feel like it was something that maybe that she wasn't good enough or strong enough or something. Oh no, that she was an imposter. That she was an imposter.
We didn't get one for Lan, did we?
Not that I
No,
remember.
yes, we did. We did. That he can't protect
Oh,
Moraine.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I should have rewatched.
Oh,
I'll rewatch it tomorrow when I'm at the airport.
Did you hear? Okay, before we
The
saw
whistle?
Yes.
Yes.
Before we saw the Trolloc, we hear whistling.
Mm-hmm.
And did you watch the episode recap at the beginning?
I did. I think yes.
Okay, so in the recap, they show Padan Fain.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, we're going to see him this episode. I want to talk about Faldara, but I also want to talk about Padan Fain.
It was definitely his whistle. I mean, they said, Lan, when they were in the waves, Lan said that they were being followed, and
right,
like the Trolloc comes out and all that happens, but like I heard the whistle, and I was like, oh, So he's in there too.
Right.
But but well, so yeah, we'll get there.
Okay. Well, yeah. So we get to Faldara.
After the attack though, where Miss Nynaeve basically is protecting,
It just like shoots power out her chest.
shoots power out. And I was
Like a
like,
Care Bear.
whoa, okay. Yes. Like a care, yeah, it was like so much power. Because they just couldn't take it anymore. And I it- she's got a defiant streak about her that worries me because the voices she's hearing are saying that she can't protect them either, and she's like, no, watch me, and then she does it. um with it looked like a little bit of Moraine's help, because
Yeah,
was Moraine just trying to open the way out?
it looked like Moraine was trying to open the way out. And she may have also been trying to protect them at the same time. And that Nynaeve, using her power, was able to free her up to get them out
Yeah,
faster.
yeah, that's the way I saw it.
Yeah. And
Was it?
Nynaeve, I think, later on in the episode when Egwene is telling her that if Moraine wasn't involved, that she'd be going along with this.
Oh yeah.
It makes me think of like anyone who doesn't want to do something just because they were told they have to.
Mm-hmm.
We've all met someone who's that kind of stubborn.
Petulance. And, yeah.
I mean, I still like Nynaeve and I understand where she's coming from,
Yeah.
but at
You
the
don't
same
hate her.
time, no, I don't hate Nynaeve at all. But at the same time, when you have these things right in front of you, and your whole world is at risk, and to me, the fact that the Trollocs followed them was all the proof I needed.
Yeah. 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 But I guess maybe because she wasn't with them and she was taken by the Trollocs, she doesn't realize it.
Oh yeah, that's true. But she's talked to Egwene. I mean, she thinks
Yeah.
that Egwene is only following Moraine because she adores her, I guess.
And wants to be an Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Well, she saved the day again. Good for her.
Good for her. So when we get to Faldara, they're calling land Daishan, which we find out the meaning of later.
Wait, sorry. How come? So I'm just thinking about what's our Ogier friend's name?
Loyal.
Loyal. Like, so is it written in the language of the Ogier, and that's why he's there as a guide? And why are they the only people who can read the guide stones? Is that why he's along for the ride?
There's something about the Ogier for why they can get through it at all. I don't think people can usually just travel through the ways. I can't remember the lore, but I do believe he was necessary for them to travel through safely.
Right. And it maybe has something to do with them being the master builders or something.
Yeah, I don't recall. It was too long ago for me to remember, but he was necessary for them to travel through the ways.
Well, if it's not spoilery, let us know.
So when we first get to Faldara and we meet that Lord's sister, I got big ex-girlfriend energy from her.
Oh, bro, so did I. Yeah. I was like, y'all used to smash.
I was like, is she Land's ex or is she Moraine's ex?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all.
Well, we find out that she was a failed novice.
Mm-hmm.
She never made it as an Aes Sedai.
Yeah,
and did you see she was wearing
trophy.
She was wearing the ring with no stone.
Yeah. Yep. Participation trophy. Thanks for coming.
So I guess, is that like a novice ring and then you get a stone when you become a full Aes Sedai?
Maybe. That makes sense.
In the book, I don't remember them having like a stone. I remember them just having like the ring that's like a snake eating its tail. I want to know more about these stones. They need to tell us something.
Yeah, me too.
I also don't know what exactly the blight is or what caused it.
Yeah. It reminds me of Sleeping Beauty, where everything
Mm,
is like overgrown with like thorns and
yeah,
that thing. When they get to that part, I was like, huh,
because we only have one episode left. Can you believe that?
how, how dare they?
We only have one episode left, and I still just have so many questions.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know. We get there, land's revered. Moraine has to tell the leader, king dude, whatever his name was, Dally, listen, now stop interrupting me so I can tell you that we have
Yeah,
big problems. There are Trollocs in the ways, bro. Like,
yeah,
hello.
and that gave us the answer to the question from last time when we were saying why didn't Moiraine know that Trollocs were headed to the two
Hmm.
rivers because they were traveling the ways.
Yep.
So now the question is, how are they able to travel the ways?
And who's opening them up for them? Because you can't just walk in.
Right.
Which
And then
leads me to my other question about our dear friend who
Pattern Fane.
whistles in the dark. Yeah. How did he get in? How did he sneak his way in there?
I
Like
don't
it
know.
looks like you need an Aes Sedai to like channel or open it. You can't just waltz in and out of the wave. Um, or like whatever special ritual is required to be able to get in. So I just have many questions. Who does that mean that there's like, is there a male channeler who's corrupted and who's letting them in? Is the dark one much more advanced and developed in his return than we've been led to believe? Um, just questions and more questions.
I will say, all the way back at Beltane, when the Trollocs attacked the village, we didn't see Pattern Fane die because later on,
No, we didn't.
Nynaeve says he died. But what I remember seeing was him standing by his wagon, whistling, and then just
Mhm.
quietly slipping away.
Yeah, yeah.
And he wasn't scared.
He wasn't scared. Is he part of the problem, Tanya?
Dun dun dun. Go back and watch the first episode.
I will now.
He stands by his wagon watching everything happening and he just whistles and just like slips into the dark.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he keeps popping up in places that he shouldn't be. Like, how is he
Well, now
everywhere right before things go wrong?
and now we also know how he's getting there so fast because he's
Yeah.
traveling the ways.
But how is he doing that?
That part I don't know how he's traveling the
Is
ways.
he a channeler? I just
We
don't
haven't seen him
understand.
channel.
I mean, don't get me started on that.
We also find out that we're probably going to see Leandrin again because Moraine is sending a message to the Reds to look for Matt.
Mm-hmm. She said, go get that one. I think
So
that's a smart move, though, because he's not to be trusted.
I feel bad for him because I
Ah,
think he's been corrupted by the
yeah,
knife. You know, he
but
wasn't
they're the
the
best people to
most,
take him.
you know, well, but like
Well, they're not going to
I was
gentle
gonna
him
say,
because he hasn't channeled.
I was gonna say they
So
won't be gentle, and I realized I was like borderline punish.
I'm here for the puns. Pun all day. Yeah,
um,
no, they're not going to gentle him because he hasn't channeled. So he's not in that kind of danger. If
that's
anything, it's
true,
just like keep an eye on this one. Because they're already aware of who he is.
right?
And the only thing is like now they'll like, maybe can make him talk about where they went and what they're doing because he knows. He knows, but that so does that jeopardize their mission?
I wonder if he's gonna get that knife again because I don't know what she did with it.
Mhm.
So we'll at least get to see Leandrin and the Reds and possibly the
Yeah.
White Tower at
Mhm.
some
And
point
Matt.
again in the future.
Yep.
Maybe if not next week, then next season. And we also meet Min, the seer, who has
It was very
visions.
cool.
She was
Mhm.
very cool. Do you want to talk about these visions she had?
I just remember sparkles between the people,
Uh, a
and
white
she saw
flame,
Rand,
a gold
a white
ring,
flame, a gold ring, Matt holding a baby.
not Matt Rand.
Um, sorry, Rand holding a baby. Uh, Perrin having yellow eyes,
And blood dripping down his
and
chin.
yes, oh, wolfish.
Yes. And then she tells Moiraine that she sees the Amyrlin seat in full regalia and that she's going to be her downfall.
So my question is, just because she sees the Amyrlin seat, does that mean that it's her boo?
Right.
Because technically that's a title, not a person.
Right. So does she see Siuan Sanche in full regalia being her, bringing her downfall, or does somebody else become the Amyrlin seat? Because last week I worried that Siuan Sanche was in danger because of Moiraine's wedding vow. It made me worry that she was in danger when she swore loyalty to the person and not the seat.
Yeah.
And so now that we're finding out the seat is going to bring about her downfall, it makes me wonder if the Amyrlin seat is going to be overthrown and someone else take that title and come from Moiraine.
Liandrin?
Like a red. I don't know, maybe Liandrin or some other red.
That's where my money is.
And Moiraine has also finally told the gang the truth, that she's expecting that most of them are going to die.
Hey guys, just so you know, this memo's coming a little late. I know it's 4:55 p.m. Close at 5
on a Friday.
But I was like, what is she doing? But I really respected everybody's reactions to this. Like they have to really, I mean, before they turned on each other, which I suppose was, bound to happen, and
which I blame on Rand. I blame Rand.
I blame him for some.
It was Rand's turn to be the insufferable one of the episode.
Yeah, now that Matt's gone. He was hanging around with him for too long. But yeah, it's like, it's like you saw all of their characters, like, because that moment where they have to, like, declare for which team they're on. And Egwene was like, no, I'm here to do what is right. And that made me love her even more.
Right.
She's Perrin's down for it too.
Because you have to ask, like Egwene said, like, what is the alternative? Yeah. If we don't go, we know that one of us potentially could be saving the world. Do we just go home?
Go home and what? Go home and die? Go home and watch everyone around you die because you're there? The risk is too great.
Also, when Rand started talking shit and Perrin got in his face, I was like, buddy, I don't think you want that smoke. made me realize how big Perrin really is.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I've never loved any woman but my wife.
Oh, he growled, right? He got all
yes.
I love it.
I was like, oh, Perrin, simmer down.
I really thought that too. When I was like, geez, he's really much bigger than him.
Yeah.
Like, crush his little face like a grapefruit.
Yeah, but still the idea of him being in love with Egwene, I just didn't really see that.
I don't buy it, dude. I really don't. It's such a stretch. Like, I get it where it's coming from, but it's just like, it's like you said, it's like a brother and sister thing. And if they didn't like smash while they were alone together, traveling the wilds, after all that trauma.
Right. Not even a comfort smash.
Not even a comfort smash. Like, we survived and got away smash. Like, none of that. Those beats never happened. So, not there. And that's cool.
I also enjoyed the glimpse into Lan's private life.
Yeah. I really like seeing his little family structure.
He was so sweet, playing with the little girl, having dinner. Nynaeve stalking him.
Followed.
Yeah. By his little stalker Nynaeve.
And like how he let her. He didn't call her out. He's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
He wanted her to see. I think it was important for him to let her see, to show that he had a whole other life outside of being a warder, that his entire identity was not tied to.
Well, also, she's been assuming the worst this whole time based off of what she knows about Aes Sedai from her wisdom and from stories.
Yeah.
And I feel like Lan has been doing a really good job of little by little showing her that it's not as bad as she thinks, that they're not as bad as she thinks, and that they are in fact people.
Yeah.
And he's doing a way better job of it than Moraine.
Yeah. Maureen is just she's too mission focused.
Yeah.
She forgets about I just typed in Maureen when I was trying to text my dad happy birthday.
Yeah, she's very Jon Snow, like focused on the mission and not explaining shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she's not a people person. Thank God she has Lan.
Thank God.
And we
She
finally
speaks
get
Maureen.
Lan and Nynaeve.
Smashville.
I know, I was like, as much as I don't like sex position, man, do I feel we were cheated out of a sex scene with these two gorgeous people.
Oh my, yeah, that's very true. It's so funny because when they left each other and he was like in his room getting undressed, I literally said Smashville, and I was like, somebody, she better knock on the door or something. Then she came in. I was
She's
like,
so bold. I like it.
yeah.
Watching him
She's
take
like, do
off
you
all
want me
his
to
armor
leave?
all slowly, like he knew. He knew she was out there. Yeah, he was giving her the green light. He knew she was out there. He's like, let me take off some of my clothes, sweeten the pot.
Let her see this war scarred back.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah, no, I think you're right. We were cheated out of the sex scene. We earned that.
Yeah. Because they're just both so gorgeous. Like, give us a little. I mean, again, I don't enjoy sex position. I think
Pay them more money next season so we can get
it. I'm being a hypocrite. I complain about sex position, and then I'm like, oh man. Rand and Egwene make up. He tells her to go on and become an Aes Sedai, and he will be her warder. How romantic.
So cute. She's like, you should have apologized to me. He's like, listen, I know that when you're ready, you'll come talk to me.
And that annoyed me too.
It annoyed me too. But I was like, well, you know what? You've known her for a long time to know that if you probably went and tried, she probably would have like not spoken to you. So you might as well go have like flashbacks.
And he also misunderstood because he thought she was mad at him about Perrin, but she was actually mad at him about Mat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
she doesn't understand why he can't see that Mat made his choice, but he's become so protective of Mat that he can't see it for what it is. Like, I understand exactly where he's coming from. He spent the last month while they were traveling taking care of him, and really getting to know him and getting deeper, deepening that, strengthening that connection. So I understand where he's coming from, but
and we still haven't seen Tom.
Where the fuck is he?
He didn't die off screen. Come on. That just reminded me, because I was thinking they've been through so much, and then I was like, oh yeah, they left Tom fighting a Fade.
Yeah.
What did you think
maybe
about?
We'll see Tom and Mat and Leandrin and Child Valda
all next week.
Next week, or
Child Valda's alive too.
Oh, me too. Like, we either see them next week or we see them in episode 1 of season 2.
So what did you think about Lan's backstory? This part I knew.
Yeah, he's a king. I love that for him.
A king with no kingdom, because Malkier is gone, taken by the blight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very tragic. He's tragic backstory, just like all the other warders that we've met.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. There's a lot of loss there, and an emptiness that makes him seek a greater purpose.
Right. So he tells Moraine that she's given him something. He's given him something to live for and something to die for.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess he can't get Malkier back.
Nope. Yeah. It makes me like him all the more because he's just so humble. And just coming to imagine, I mean, I guess he was young when it happened, but imagine even as a princeling, you're being raised to think that you're going to take over. He's not like Viserys Targaryen.
That's what I was thinking of too, Viserys.
Right? Who's walking around just his shit doesn't stink, and one day he's going to come into his kingdom and this and that. And it's he's just so humble. He's
Yeah.
humble, and yeah, I really, yeah, it made me like him more. And then I was like, but look at them, your highness and her ladyship
Yeah.
together.
Because we don't really know Maureen's backstory other than that we know she's born noble.
Hmm.
Lady Maureen Damodred. Um, and so now we know that Lan was a would-be king
Hmm.
who is not seeking out a kingdom.
No, he's not a conqueror.
And he obviously has feelings for Nynaeve. So what does that mean for them? A wisdom can't marry, and a warder is bound to his Aes Sedai.
Yeah, but Moraine gave him the okay. She's like,
Oh
I
yeah,
like
should I
this
like
one.
her? Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, it's cool. Go
Yeah, I
do what
mean,
you
I don't
do.
imagine that the warders never have lovers. We see that
Yeah.
it's a it's a problem for them to try to have a
Mhm.
relationship because how
Your
do you,
loyalties are split. Yeah.
it's always going to be your wife against your Aes Sedai, and you're going to
Yeah.
have a stronger bond with your Aes Sedai.
It's
So
like
even
the
if,
same reason the men of the Night's Watch don't marry and take children, or bear children. You have to be able to be focused 100%, or like even in
right,
Black Widow, right, where they can't have children either. You have to be able
yeah,
to be mission
but
focused. You can't have your loyalties be compromised by. Hello.
but in this case is also the magical bond.
Mhm.
So like he physically is going to have a stronger bond to his Aes Sedai than he does to his wife, which I imagine would cause intense jealousy.
Oh, totally.
Did you notice? Well, okay, so it's come up a lot because of the books. They talk a lot about Nynaeve tugging her braid.
Yeah.
Did you notice that she was holding it and just like pulling on it? There's a scene where it's linked
Yeah.
up that way. I'm glad that they threw that in because
Hmm.
we've seen her like toss her braids and things like that, but we haven't seen the like Nynaeve tug that they mentioned so
Yeah.
much in the book. So that was definitely like a little toss out to the readers.
I remember Melissa mentioning something like that in the first episode that we did, or one of the first two that we did. Um, and I thought of that. I was like, well, what is that? Is she like reassuring herself? Is this what is this action like psychologically mean?
I think it's something she does when she's worried, when she's anxious, when she's upset, maybe.
Mhm.
You know, we think about like Arya always chewing her lip.
Yeah.
You know, everyone has like their thing. Hers
Hmm.
is tugging that damn braid.
Yeah. I like it.
So the thing that we have wanted to talk about all along that I wanted to say for last, Moraine has masked her bond again,
Mhm.
and Rand has come to the realization that
Or
he's
accepted the fact.
or accepted what he has suspected all
Hmm.
along, which we didn't know he suspected,
Yeah.
but that we also did suspect,
Yes.
that he's the dragon reborn. So, opening scene,
Finally.
you see a redheaded pregnant woman.
Hmm.
Your first thought is that's Rand's mom, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I was like, this is absolutely the opposite of promise me Ned, and I'm here for it.
And
Yeah,
it's
man.
interesting because it made me wonder, what did Tam tell Rand about his mother? He must have had stories about her, right?
Hmm.
And when he's having his like fever, he says her name, Kari.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah,
he
yeah.
knew her. What the hell? He wasn't just a random soldier that came upon her in that mountain. He knew her.
Yeah. Were they lovers? Is
I don't know.
that his real daddy?
I mean, I assume that it was not his real dad, but I also don't know. I don't remember from the books either.
Yeah.
Um, but from what we see, we just see one of the soldier. It looks like a soldier taking
Hmm.
mercy on her, seeing that
Yeah.
she's a woman in labor and helping her. And then
Hmm.
she dies before she can even hold the baby. But he
So
brings the
sad.
baby home for whatever reason. Is it because it's his baby, or is it because he knew something?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's
Like,
we don't
is-
know much of his background. What was he doing there? Why didn't he kill her? Because I mean, clearly she killed all, like he, I don't, would many men in a middle of a battle rage, after seeing all your homies dead on the ground, killed by this woman, have taken mercy on her?
right. Like, is Tam really just that nice a guy?
Yeah, that's
Or
what
did,
I'm
or
wondering.
did he and this woman have some history
Mhm.
before this? Or is he privy to the prophecy?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask a second ago. I was like, what does he know? You know, was it foretold that he was going to come upon whatever, and then all the signs added up to him being like, oh my God, this is that moment? Are we ever going to see him again?
We have to. He's too big an actor to not see again, right?
That's,
I'm
I
shocked
mean,
we've seen so little of him.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Rand has, for some reason, baby memories of being born on that mountain, which is
Mhm.
strange. Who remembers where they were born, right?
Mhm.
We see that he channeled when he broke down that door.
Yes, I had to rewind that like 4 times because I was like watching on projector and I was like, I was like, he did he fucking channel? I was like, this whole time he's been channeling and not been consumed by the darkness.
One of my friends called it from that scene.
Mhm.
He's been saying since that scene that Rand is the dragon reborn, because he was like, he had to, if she was saying that it would take 3 men his size to get through that
Mhm.
door, and yet he
And
was
I, we
able to
were
do it, then he must have been channeling.
right, and we thought that they were just passing it off as like, oh, you're totally a Naomi. And they're just strong and fierce and da 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 da.
Nope, he was
And you
using
know,
one power.
and not
Um,
being corrupted, and that's how he was so certain. Right, that's how he's so certain that Matt wasn't channeling,
right. When else?
which
Oh,
makes
and
me
also
in light.
in the ways,
Yeah, in the ways he did it too.
Egwene thought she channeled by accident, and she kept saying, "I didn't mean to,"
Yeah.
but it was Red channeling.
And that, you know what it makes me think about? It makes me go back to the scene with gosh, my brain is nonsense. The false dragon, what's his name?
Logain.
Where Logain is laughing. And we're not sure if it's in the head, if it's in Matt's head or not, you know. And I was like, well, and this is like definitely a stretch, but I was like, well, maybe Matt, he sees the darkness and he's laughing because he recognizes, you know, Rand for the real dragon. Or, but you know, since we're
See, but
convinced that it was something in his
I thought it
head.
was a
That's
yeah, I thought it was a hallucination on Matt's part.
oh yeah, I know, I'm stretching it.
Tinfoil firmly in place.
Yes. Yeah, so good. Just yeah.
And then or what was the other things he remembered? So it was Tam's words when he had his fever,
Mhm.
basically saying like, "I found you in the mountains. Your
Yeah,
mother's name is Kari."
yeah.
Um, channeling to break down the door, the Heron marked sword.
Yep. I can't remember what else.
Channeling in the ways.
I really like that whole montage.
And it's like this, it's like, has it been eating him up this whole time?
Yeah, watching everybody. Yeah, I mean, it must be. It must have been eating it the whole time. And
And
then
did
for him to
he,
be so mad at Egwene, like, oh, you're
but like,
gonna leave me and become a
I know.
whatever.
But also, did he know he was channeling the whole time? Because so from what we see the first time is when he breaks down that door. But did he know
Hmm.
he was channeling when he broke down that door? Or is he realizing, holy shit, I was channeling when I broke down that door?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Um, but I think it also explains um, his mistrust and his desire to keep away from the White Tower too, if he's known all along that he was channeling. We're thinking that you're looking out for your buddy when it's just like, you will know that it's me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be discovered and gentled. And what does that mean for him and his future? What does that mean? Um, And I think he says something like, I've suspected all this time, or I've known all along, ever since he was young, that it was him.
Or that he was different at least, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the red hair. From the very first episode, we see this bright red hair. Then we're told that you don't see that outside of Eilman, really. Then we get Loyal calling him an Eilman. So you have
Yeah.
to ask yourself, okay, was his mother Aiel? Nobody mentions who or what she was, who she is or where she was from. Nobody mentions it. So nobody from the
And red hair
village
is a
knew her then.
recessive trait.
Well, but it also means that nobody from the village knew her.
Mm-hmm.
So Tam
Oh,
came
that's
home.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it's okay. So is Tam from the Two Rivers, or did he move to the Two Rivers? Like, did he
Maybe
leave the Two
he's.
Rivers to go fight in a war and come home? Or
Mhm.
was he somebody who came to the Two Rivers with his baby and settled there?
Yeah, as a safe place. Um, yeah, it makes me wonder if there was a prophecy and he was a part of it and he knew. Um, because to me, it seems a little bit unlikely that he was from there and left. Because, like, where is the rest of the family? I mean, I guess there could be grandparents or whatever, but he doesn't have any siblings. There are no other relatives where you
Right.
see everyone else and their families, or at
Right.
least hint at the fact of a family. So maybe he's a transplant. He was like, oh, I gotta go somewhere safe to keep this baby safe. Nobody's gonna come to the Two Rivers and look for in here.
And if he is from the Two Rivers, left to go fight and came back, that makes him pretty mysterious, right? Because
Yeah,
you don't really hear. I mean, people must leave from time to time.
Yeah.
It's possible he's from there and left and came back, because I feel like maybe they would have talked about him more if he wasn't from there at all.
Maybe.
Like, it would
I
have
don't know,
come
do
up
they?
at some point, right? But
Mhm.
yeah, if he is from there, where is the rest of his family, siblings, aunts?
And where are the other people? And like, if they're are they recruiting? Is there's like a conscription thing? Because then where are all the other retirees or former like vets? And how? Because he's the only one who could really fight when the Trollocs attacked.
Yeah, he pulls out this sword that obviously that Heron mark means something. And then he's can fight like crazy. And it's like after all these years, he can still fight. Because Rand is like 20 years old.
Yeah. That's muscle memory and battle training coming in and taking over, so you don't have to think.
20 years later.
Training. Yes, that's training. I could still do 15 count manual arms, and I haven't picked up a rifle since I don't remember when. So yeah, it sticks with you because you drill it and you practice enough, and yeah.
So I guess maybe we'll find out at some point what army that was that he was fighting for.
Yeah, and why were they in the mountains?
And why were they fighting against Eilman?
Question. This is like one of those shows where every time, like every episode, I'm just left with more questions, and I really like that.
Yeah, they're good questions. They're not like
I really like that.
They're not like, what the hell does that mean in a bad way? Like,
yeah,
it's like, I want to know more.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold off finishing the series, because I'm getting way too into it, and I just want to keep going.
And everybody, like the people that I know who have read the whole series, are like their opinion is that the first 4 books are really good, and then for the next few books, the motivation of the women gets a little bit weaker, and then Brandon Sanderson comes on and gets really good again.
Yeah, I've heard that the middle ones get kind of slow.
Yeah.
So finally not finally, it's not how it ends, but Rand goes to see Min as well, the seer. And
she tells him straight up, don't come here and ask me shit if you don't actually want to know the answer to these questions.
Yeah.
He said, don't waste my time.
She's so tired of this shit. But to find out that her vision of him being born, so all these years, basically, she's known he was coming.
Yeah.
And so she saw the vision of the soldier and the snow and the blood. that he now knows is him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, he can't just like text his dad and be like, hey, we need to talk.
You can't send a raven. Yeah,
They do need to talk. We got to see him
they
again.
do.
Well, now that Rand realizes it is likely him.
Mm-hmm.
He did the noble thing.
Yep.
Let your friends live. And you know,
Exactly.
that's probably what finally sparked it, is Moraine finally telling them that, like, look, whoever's not the dragon's gonna die, and I still don't know which one of you it is. And you know, he
Yeah.
would feel really guilty,
Oh,
basically
totally.
knowing
He'd
that it's
be a
him.
colossal piece of shit if you let them all go knowing it was him or suspecting. Because nobody else really thinks it's them. Maybe Nynaeve thinks it might be her because she's so powerful.
Right.
But yeah, no, he did the noble thing. He was like, listen, homie, let's go. Nobody else has to die. Just you and me. Let's be out.
Why do you think Moraine left land behind?
Because if anything happens to her, he can be with Nynaeve and live a regular life.
But that's not going to happen. If anything happens to her, the bond is going to drive him berserker like it did to Stepin. Like, she masked the bond so he can't follow her, but it doesn't mean the bond is gone. Why would she leave without her warder?
I feel like she doesn't want to put him in danger.
But he's her warder. That's his job, is to be in danger on her behalf. Like, that's the whole point of him. So why leave him behind?
Because she's got the dragon with her?
That's even more reason to have your warder on hand for when the madness takes him, right?
If the madness takes
it will. It's taken all the men.
That's why when I saw him channel and like bust the door down, I was like, oh, is this why you've been so moody?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was blue balls, but come to find out you can channel in this whole
time. Yeah, I wonder why she would leave land behind. I don't understand it. What good reason is there to not bring him with her? Doesn't make sense to try to protect him. You know he's going to follow you in death if something happens to you.
Yeah. But at least, or maybe she left him behind. I don't know. Maybe he can protect the others better. Well, not better than she can. But yeah, I don't know.
But if Rand is the dragon and now she knows that, or at least very strongly suspects that it's him, why do the others need Land's protection? They can go home.
Yeah.
Allegedly, supposedly, maybe they could go home.
I don't know.
I mean, Nynaeve and Egwene could go to the White Tower and become novices.
Mm-hmm.
And like Perrin, who knows?
Perrin can find out whatever the fuck he is. And is this in the books with him and this wolfy stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it goes even further, but I don't know what they'll do with the show, so I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Well, I guess I'll just listen to it.
But there is a wolf connection in the books as well.
How exciting!
It's
excited and sad, and I don't want it to be over, but I'll just watch it. I'll just watch it again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man.
Well, that's the episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be thinking about Rand all night.
I'm gonna be thinking about Land all night. Yeah. Wow.
Great show.
Yeah.
Good
Great
stuff.
show. Great episode. Lots of questions. I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming next. I have no idea where it will be. I'm not even going to bother to speculate.
Yeah, I have no idea. And I didn't look up the episode title for next week either. So
I think I know. You know what? When I was originally making the things, they didn't have it. The title wasn't up, and it now doesn't. But I don't remember. I saw it, and I don't remember what it is.
Oh wait, I think it's The Eye of the World.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I do remember.
So they make it, guys. They make it there.
Oh, I can't wait to see what we see there.
I am so excited to see what it looks like because what does the eye of like what do you find when you get to the eye of the world after like going through this blight? Is it somewhere that's just like exceedingly beautiful, or is it like if that's where the darkness is like, you know, stirring from, is it like some crazy prison vibe where everything is, you know, desolate and isolated? Is it like a paradise? I have no idea. So I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Yeah, me too. And who else we'll see? If anybody's gonna come back, are we gonna see Child Valda? Are we gonna see Tom? Are we gonna see the Dark One himself? Is he still locked up?
Are they going to run into problems? Because now that we know that, you know, the Trollocs and stuff are traversing through the ways, like, is it going to be fortified? You
We're
know?
definitely gonna see Pat and Fane again.
Yeah.
And I guess
Doing
we'll
whatever
also
the fuck
see
he's
what it's
doing.
like to travel through the blight. You know, it started off with a skeleton head. So
Are there spiders in the book?
I don't remember there being spiders.
Okay. Because that looked spidery to me. And I was like,
Yeah, I don't like spiders.
"Ooh,
I don't
we
remember
might
I don't
skip that
remember any
episode."
spiders. I don't know why I said skeleton head instead of skull, but I guess because it's bedtime.
Yeah, skull is the head of the skeleton. You're not wrong.
Oh my goodness. Well, on that note, we've been 1,000 Eyes in One.
Exhaustedly coming to you from New York, New York.
Follow us on the socials, Twitter, 1,000 Eyes One, Facebook and Instagram, 1,000 Eyes in One. If you're interested in other speculative fiction that we like to read, look up Wine on an Empty Stomach on Instagram. And we also have a Wine on an Empty Stomach playlist where we have videos of us talking about books we love. For previous episodes, 1000eyespodcast.com. And if you just look up 1,000 Eyes in One podcast on YouTube, subscribe to us for more speculative fiction discourse.
Yes. And if you do look at Wine on an Empty Stomach, join our book club, pick up the book.
Yes, the next book is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. And
we'll be talking about it January 16th.
Live.
3 p.m. Eastern time.
Get into it. All right, Nikki.
Wait, I have one more thing.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah. And I just want to say happy birthday to my dad because he's turning 70 today.
Oh, happy birthday, Dad.